All right, Pick Six brought to you by Davidson's Liquors, and today's topic, because Letterman had his final show last night, the 6 best talk show hosts of all time, and I'm going first. All right, I have them in order. My number 6 is Jimmy Kimmel. I really like Jimmy Kimmel. He's just nice, and he just seems to have fun, and that's what people want before they go to bed at night. Forget about all the crap that went on during the day.
I want to have fun before I go to bed at night, but now with Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, you can do that at the same time. The TV can be on, you know. Number 5, Jimmy Fallon. Silly. And has really brought late night talk into the viral video age. Strong appeal to people who are heavily into social media, music, a lot of pop culture, etc. I think he does a fabulous job with it. It's different, but he does a great job with it. Number 4, Colbert. Colbert is brilliant. He's brilliant not only because he could carry a half hour with a lot of dialogue and monologue straight, but also because he's pulling off a parody of Bill O'Reilly. That's not easy. Number 4, Jon Stewart. Brilliant comic, great stand-up, great actor. He directs, he writes. But The Daily Show has become a source of news, believe it or not, on Comedy Central for more young people than the conventional media. And they do a great job with it. He's very, very funny and very clever. Number 2, Letterman. Letterman did things differently than most. He did it in a curmudgeonly way, but did some things that no other talk show host had ever done, and did it for a long time. Very funny. Not a great interviewer, but very funny. And the king of, there's a reason Johnny Carson was called the king of late night. Quick story before you get to yours. 2-minute warning. I did something, I did a show, not a show, I emceed a show where Jay Leno performed. And he and I were in the dressing room beforehand talking. And Jay Leno by himself, I mean, great job for 22 years, something like that. And Jay said, "How are you going to introduce me?" And I said, knowing that Johnny Carson held this title, I said, I thought I'd call you the king of late night talk. And he said, no, don't do that. Out of respect for Johnny, he's the king of late night talk. So even Jay Leno, who did it on such a high level for so many years, thought Johnny Carson was the best.
Okay, now we'll go to mine. And I start this with, we're from different worlds, different, you know, and I'm going to bring up people that nobody here has even heard of. And yeah, me. Why wouldn't you have belief in yourself? So I have belief in myself. I did talk radio for a quarter of a century here. I've done this. So I'm a co-host here. I was a host of my own radio show on 16 different stations. In case you missed that, I got fired by 16 different stations. So that wouldn't indicate I belong on the top 6.
Would you have guests, or would you just talk for an hour and a half?
No, I did 4 hours, as much as 4 hours. I also did a one-on-one kind of Charlie
Rose
story on the religious channel.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a show like that.
Yeah. Well, we can. We can turn this into that. Turn the lights out.
No, I didn't even think
Howard
of him.
Stern.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I went in a different direction. I think Howard Stern sort of created something that nobody else had ever done. And you talk about 22 years, he's been doing this for 35, 40 years. Yeah, and he still stays fresh.
And a great movie about his career, too.
That he started.
Yeah.
And wrote and everything else. Number 4, Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. And I totally disagree with him, not on everything, but I tend to totally disagree with him in the way he talks about the drive-by media. That's a part I am. But he's another guy who revolutionized a part of that led to things like Fox News and MSNBC and people
and
trying to counter, all sorts of stuff. So Rush Limbaugh. That's why I said it. 3, David Letterman. I follow everything. I loved David Letterman.
Yeah.
And they once asked me to be on the show, and that didn't work out because I got bumped for Howard Stern. How's that? Number 2 would be Steve Allen. And that's why I said none of the young people. Steve Allen was responsible for talk shows on TV.
And so smart.
And characters and skits. And he was really smart.
Yeah.
He was an intelligent guy, and that's set up Johnny Carson. That set up everything that's come since then.
Yep.
Colbert Report with characters and people involved in it. Number 1 I think you would guess. It's the same as you. Johnny
Yeah.
Carson. I grew up with Johnny Carson. When I was in college, we would rush off at night. We'd study and we'd rush off and go to a hot dog place and get chili dogs and come back and watch the monologue, then go back to studying or whatever we were doing.
And the young guys here and gals, I don't know if you know this about Johnny. People would stay up, no matter how tired they were, they stayed up to watch Johnny Carson's monologue. Then they'd go to bed. Central time for me, it was 10:45. Here it was 10:45. On the East Coast, 11:45. Nobody but Dick Cavett. What did you think of Dick Cavett? Kind of a Steve Allen type, smart.
No, smart.
How about Tom
Great
Snyder?
interviewer, but not much personality.
Tom Snyder. He annoyed the hell out of me.
No, he was fine. He was, but no, I wouldn't put him in. I was trying to think of. There was a guy in Cleveland that was a sports talk radio host that I grew up listening to that went all over the nation. He went later to San Francisco, and I thought he set the tone for all radio sports
Joe
talk.
Franklin? That guy?
Does that sound right?
I'm not sure. Might have been his name.